Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Brentwood, Tennessee, looking at another gorgeous luxury home for sale. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Coley with Compass, for allowing us to tour her beautiful listing and bringing it to the channel. I'll make sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, what's exciting about this home is this is the first time in months that we've seen a modern farmhouse on this particular channel, and I'm so excited for this one. Now, as far as the materials are concerned, on the exterior, you are going to have the siding with the natural stone and the brick combination. You will notice the natural stone on the lower exterior and going into the covered front porch. This home is situated on 1.339 acres. So as you can see, you have plenty of space in the front yard and the backyard. You have this massive driveway, plenty of parking available, and then not to mention your garage, which we'll get to a little bit later on. Now you see they just cut the grass right here. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. Then you have the lush landscaping. So as we continue here, you see the covered front porch. You are going to have the wood clad porch ceilings with the gas lantern. You know, we talk about that quite often, and I'm always excited to see that. Now, as we look at the covered front porch, look how massive this is. Plenty of room available to hang out here on a Saturday morning, drink your coffee or tea. If you're a tea drinker like me, this will be a perfect spot for you. Now, as far as the double front doors, you are going to have the white oak with the glass panes, just setting the tone and setting the mood as soon as you walk in. But let's get you inside of this beautiful property. All right. So immediately whenever you walk into the beautiful foyer, you see how cozy and intimate it is. Now they just took the staging out of here. However, I wanted to get you inside of this home so you can see this beautiful floor plan. Now I'll turn you around, not to make you dizzy whatsoever, so you can see the double front doors. Now what's neat about this is you see the natural wood exposed beams. A lot of times you may see the faux beams, but I think they just really wanted to keep that natural element to this home. Now, of course, this is our formal dining. Look how spacious and roomy it is. Beautiful color palette. Then you see that you have the white oak ceilings right there. Beautiful gold light fixture here. A 10-seater dining table would fit in here so comfortably. And then you will notice the discreet floor registers right there. Okay, so as we continue over here, you will have your study. So you could use this as a guest suite because it does have a closet and your windows, but most likely you would use this as a study. You have the accent walls on all four walls, and then you will see the European white oak floors. That's going to be throughout this entire home, except for the media area, which will have some carpet, just give that nice cozy feel. All right, so you see how we're working with right here. If you wanted to use that as a closet, you can certainly do that, but more than likely you probably just use that as a study. Now turning you this way, I'll make sure to open that door in just a second. However, just wanted to show you how spacious these rooms are. So this would be perfect for a queen bedroom set without any challenges whatsoever. If you were to make that a study, then this will be a perfect guest suite since it's out of the way and tucked over here. So you have crown molding in here, the painted beams on the top, the European white oak floors. Then this is going to be ensuite. And just look at the materials. We have natural stone countertops. Then you see we have the shaker cabinetry with the brass, and then that's going to be with our sconces as well. And this is going to have the dual sinks. And look at this. Love this. So what you will notice throughout this home as well is you will have some champagne bronze thrown in here and some of these materials, not thrown in there, but they were intentional. But I love that we got our shower bench right here. You got your shower wand and your shower niche, and of course your toilet right over there. So a ton of room to work with. And then you can see our closet right here. So already got your built-ins with your racks ready to go. Okay, and like I mentioned, I opened up this door. So you got a massive coat closet right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this tour as if we're walking in for the first time. So I would love this. You know, you have your decor right here. It really sometimes doesn't do it justice when it's vacant. I know I get a percentage of the audience that loves to really see it vacant. That way they can imagine how they would furnish it and don't have to worry about any furniture in the way. But I like to throw these in every now and then for you. Okay, so the natural exposed beams continues this way, but wait till we get to our great room. So I'll do a full pan and then we'll make some comments about some of these features. So inside of here, you are gonna have 11-foot 5-inch ceilings. Throughout the rest of the home, it's gonna be 10-foot ceilings. But right over here, you see the natural stone continues inside of here. So with your fireplace around, then the natural wood mantle. So nice combination that you got right there. Then the European white oak floors continues right here as far as the backsplash. As you can see that between both of those, the herringbone pattern firebox. Give you a little close up. Then you are going to have the bifold iron doors right there. So you could fold that up, have that indoor outdoor living, and then you have a screened in porch or patio, which we'll get to in a little bit later on. But what I'm excited to show you is this beautiful kitchen right here. This is a masterpiece. So you are going to have custom cabinetry, Taj Mahal quartzite counters. You'll notice that extends up that backsplash right there. Beautiful pendant lights hanging down. This is an 11-foot island. Then they added the farmhouse sink. You have 2 dishwashers, so you never know when you may need that. These are going to be inset cabinetry. You are going to have the gold hardware, and look at the color combination in here. They've just done a fantastic job, in my opinion. You will have the high-end appliances. Of course, at this price point, you expect that, but it's always nice to point that out just so you know they didn't go cheap on that. Now you are going to have the stacked cabinetry again. Look how large this sink is, and then I'll do a pan as if you're doing dishes here. Okay, so before we continue, let's go ahead and see some of these drawers. So you see the gold is in there. You got your dishwasher cove. So we talk about the best money can buy. Some additional cabinetry right here. So plenty of shelving available. This is going to be frameless. Beautiful gold sconce right there, illuminating there. And then this is the separate refrigerator and freezer. You know, the first time that I showcased this on the channel, gosh, I'd say it back in November, you know, I had mixed reviews about it. But then as time went on and it started becoming more and more common, I think folks had warmed up to it. So let me know if you warmed up to the separate refrigerator and freezer. But beautiful beige color, love that. Then heading this way, you see you got your arch, and look at this massive pantry here. Look at this. So you got custom cabinetry inside of here. The European white oak floors continues, plenty of shelving available. You're gonna have a secondary refrigerator here, so plenty of shelving to work with. And then of course, if you wanted just a tuck away those leftovers, you're probably going to have it in there. Now look at our open mudroom. Look how much storage is in here. This is incredible. All this custom cabinetry work. They've just done a great job, in my opinion. And like I always say, a lot of times on the video, it really doesn't do it justice. I try my best, and you know, we try to get the best angles possible, but goodness gracious, you have to be here in person to witness this. Okay, so this is your 3-car garage. You have your epoxy flooring, as you can see. Then you have the windows with the grids bringing in some more natural light, but 3-car garage is extremely spacious. And then, like I mentioned earlier, this would be your access door. So you saw that from the exterior leading you to your driveway. So multiple access points. And then this is going to be connecting, and I'll just give you a quick glimpse before we continue. So a massive utility room. You are going to have an additional one on the second floor. We'll get to that in just a second. You got the herringbone pattern tile flooring in here, the counter space right above your washer and dryer hookups, some more cabinetry here. So I'm noticing a ton of storage available here. Then the cabinet crowns on top, and then an additional sink overlooking your side yard. So like I mentioned, this one is going to be connecting to your closet. I'll get you there in just a second. Let's make sure we don't miss a thing. So far, let me know in the comments below what you're giving this particular home. Is this something you can see yourself living in? I hope so, because it is a wonderful property. Okay, so this would be connecting from your formal dining. The Taj Mahal countertops continues here. You got a wine fridge right there, an additional one as well, Sub-Zero. The stacked cabinetry continues here, shaker cabinets. And then I'll turn you around right here, that beautiful arch detail right above there, an additional sink, an ice maker. What more could you really want, right? And then look at that storage. I'm not gonna go too far because you never know what's around that corner. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, so let's go ahead and head to our breakfast room. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. And you will notice this as we go upstairs. You're gonna see the vaulted ceilings right here. But I love that. So you have an additional access door to your backyard, but plenty of room. This can honestly be an informal dining if you wanted to, but you're gonna spend most of your time in there. That arch detail continues here. You have an additional counter space, perfect for a nice little coffee bar. And look at this. So right before you head into the primary suite, you have this little section, an additional like bonus room right here, where, you know, you have the separation between the main areas and the primary suite. Look at this. All right, painted from floor to ceiling. Look at that. That exposed beams gives like that that illusion that it continues as far as the natural wood beams. Love the vaulted ceilings. You have this accent wall here. Just look how roomy it is. And like I said, I mean, now I'm trying my best to show you, you know, these bigger properties, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 square feet, because that was the number one feedback I got is, you know, some of the time you might have seen some of these rooms and it might have been a great layout, but the rooms weren't practical, right? And it seems like most of the audience may have a family or have a lot of guests come over. So I want to cater to you, but of course I welcome all feedback in the comments below. Okay, so now heading into the primary bath. Look at this, that beautiful freestanding tub. You will notice the champagne bronze in here, except for the gold sconces right there. But you will have the gorgeous, gorgeous vanities. Look at that. You can see, I'll do a close up for you. Looks like that white oak cabinetry right there. Then you have a designated cosmetic area to take advantage of tile flooring throughout here. Let me stand on this angle so you can see. So the cool thing is for that cosmetic area, they already added the LED mirror. So you don't have to worry about lighting whatsoever. You are certainly good to go. You got your water closet right there to the left. Let's take a peek inside of our walk-in shower. Yes, champagne bronze. You know, we talk about that. This is what I'm talking about. Dual shower heads with the waterfall shower head. Nice oversized shower bench with your shower niche. The herringbone pattern shower floor down there. Beautiful shower surround. They just work well together. Got your towel closet right there. And then now the primary closet. Like I said, this does connect to the utility room. So there's not a his and hers closet. However, The space that you get in here certainly is optimal for a massive wardrobe. You even got your built-in drawers over there, built-in bench right here, so you don't have to struggle with putting on your shoes in the morning. I understand that. Some additional storage, and then shelving galore. So like I said, let me know in the comments below if you're liking this. I mean, so far the feedback has been great, you know, since we come back from Florida, from showcasing those. So, you know, it really seems like a night and day difference based on the feedback. Okay, so it looks like that was the entire first level. I believe we covered everything. Let's get you upstairs so you can see what we're working with. So you will notice the European white oak flooring continues, it even continues on the staircase. Now we head up here to our staircase landing. And before I'll show you that room, let me go ahead and make sure that you see this entire room itself. Okay, so this is a massive game room, as you can see. Goodness. So you got 3 additional window benches, floor to ceiling shelving, your sconces right above there, crown molding, and look at the space. Looks about 17 by 17, maybe even probably a little bit more, to be honest with you. I should have had the dimensions for you, so sorry about that for my analyticals, but I'll tell you right now, it can accommodate you. Don't even worry about that. So let's go ahead and start on this angle and we'll work our way around the perimeter. So like I mentioned earlier, the vaulted ceiling theme will continue. So look at this. You have that beautiful exposed beam right above there, almost like a floating design. You got these massive windows as well to take advantage of. Queen bedroom set would fit perfectly in here. Your beautiful chandelier hanging down. And already got our built-ins. And you know, one thing I can't appreciate about this, you know, I still have trauma from the chrome racks, and you know, we don't see that out here whatsoever in the Nashville area. So I'm excited that we don't see that too much based on the comments. But you look at that, the custom cabinetry. You got the shower benches. Love that they extended that to the second level. And now head into our next bedroom. Okay. So you got your exposed beam, queen bedroom set, fits perfectly in here. Dimensions in here looks like about a 15 by 14. And of course, you know, that's approximate. I'm just guessing. Educated guess. So each one of these have the walk-in closets. You see we got our chrome rack right there. This one is going to be shower tub combo, but let me show you the vanity first and foremost. The shaker cabinetry in here. I'm wondering when the the shaker cabinetry, they've been in style for quite some time, and you know, we start seeing them more and more often. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about the shaker cabinets. Okay, so heading back out to our game room. Like I mentioned earlier, there is 2 utility rooms, one on the first level and this one on the second level. So you don't have to worry about this one having a stackable or anything like this. This is going to be the side-by-side washer and dryer hookups, some additional cabinetry, and then look, you even have an additional sink and some counter space available right here. So you can even pull up a chair, maybe 2 or 3, and have some help holding all those clothes, you know, use some leverage. And before we continue, this will just kind of give you an idea. I always look over the second level sometimes. Okay, so now once we get up here, this is a media room right here, family. So you have the nice cozy feeling in here with the plush carpeting, right? And then you already have your outlet right there, perfect proximity for hanging up the flat screen TV. But if you wanted to use this as have a projector in here, you can, of course, certainly do that. You have a ton of space available. Now heading to our next room right across here. Look at that. So you have the vaulted ceiling with the accent wall right here. Then you head down the step right over here. So you can use this as a bonus room. This looks more like a flex room. So you can use this really for whatever you need to. But you know, we talk about the children's retreat. You got additional recessed area over here. So if you want to use this as a sitting area, maybe a reading room, you can certainly do that. But if you want to use it as an additional bedroom, you could do that as well. Just throwing out some ideas. But I love how spacious it is inside of here. And then we will continue. Put that twister in there, Monopoly, all that good stuff. Now this is going to be your shared bathroom, your half bath right here. So you've seen that we had one downstairs. You have this one up. Beautiful gold sconce, champagne bronze spout. Beautiful color combination. Okay, and last but certainly not least, our last bedroom. Very spacious, ensuite. I'll show you the walk-in closet. Beautiful. Bravo to the developers. They've done a fantastic job of this floor plan. I love what I'm seeing. And then the curated finishes. Goodness gracious. This is perfect going into 2025. And of course, I always welcome your feedback. You know, we talk about that quite often. And I just really want to just bring to you different designs that you know you may like. And trust me, if you're new to the channel, you will see different home styles from Texas, Florida, a little bit of Atlanta. We've seen a couple of homes in Atlanta. They were Toll Brothers. They had some great designs, especially if you want basements. That was like the number one question I had gotten when I was in only Texas at one point in time, was if we had basements. And that's not common, of course, in Texas, but other places it is. Okay, let's get you outside here. Like I mentioned, this one is screened in. So this is perfect. You got the vaulted ceilings right there. The siding continues this way. This is a cozy screened in patio. You already have your fireplace right there, your natural wood mantle, and then the brick fireplace surround. And like I mentioned earlier, this is on 1.339 acres. So you still have a ton of yard space in the back, and you're in Brentwood. You really can't get much better than that. So then the patio extends this way. Remember, they had the access door right there. So that just gives you a better an idea. And look at that. Beautiful, lush grass. Let me get down and I'll show you the exterior. I always like to show you the exterior if I can. Sometimes I can't. It might be raining or something. But really, at the end of the day, you see these mature trees surrounding this property. So you don't really have to worry about fencing it in. I mean, of course, there's not a lot of houses out here that are fenced in. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home tour right here in Brentwood, Tennessee. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.